Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start day 6 training, and the topic is today is don't get hacked. Now, these threats, if you know about threats, then you can protect yourself easily. You can protect uh, your personal data. You can protect your network, your devices, your computer from any type of unauthorized access or any type of attack. Now, today you will learn about some threats and threats actors, and also you will learn about the techniques what the hackers they use to compromise with your machine. If your machine is compromised with hacker, that means they can do anything with this machine. Okay, now just we start. Firstly, we will discuss about domain we are going to cover in this course. So we have basically in this course 5 domains are there: domain 1, domain 2, domain 3, domain 4, and domain 5. What's the meaning of the domain? We have divided this complete course into 5 parts, and here you can see that these 5 parts are covering the different percentage part of the examination. Once you will go for the exam, you will get 12% of the questions from this domain 1, and 22% from domain 2, 18% from domain 3, 28% from domain 4, and 20% from domain 5. So this is what the complete here we have. Once we will complete this, then we can easily understand which is the domain have the value in examination, how much value have the in the examination it's have. Like here we are moving to the domain. First we have completed successfully, we are moving to the domain 2. In this we will learn about threats, vulnerabilities, and mitigations. So let's we start. Let me maximize this from here. So this the domain we are going to start domain 2. This will cover 22% of the exam. Okay. Now just this is what domain. In this we will cover threats, vulnerabilities, and mitigation. Now threats actors we will learn in this. Threat vectors and attack we will learn in this. Vulnerabilities we will understand, and malicious activities and mitigation techniques also we will learn. So firstly we are moving to understand what is threat actors. It's important to understand what is threat. Threat is nothing, it's a possible danger. And from where we can get these type of dangers, so we say that these are basically threat actors which play the roles, okay, in cybersecurity. So if we talk about threat actors, these are basically the people who can be individuals or groups that pose a security risk by carrying out malicious actions against your system, against your network, or against your data. These actors can have different motives levels. Okay, they can use it to access your device. They use these techniques for to collect information, to steal the information from your machine, and they have the multiple motives for this. Firstly we will talk about type of threats. So firstly the number one threat is type of threat actors we talk about. So number one is nation state actors. Nation state actors, these are basically advanced persistent threats. Advanced persistent threats, APTS. We say these are APTS. And these are the example of these threats are like the one threat actors of Russia is APT-29. If you will go to Google and if you will search APT-29 threats, this is a Russian threat. The other one is APT-41. This is what Chinese, and another one is Lazarus Group. This is North Korean threat. So now we will understand these threats can be like individual threats or hacktivist threats, cyber criminal threats, actors, or state sponsored insiders or competitors. So individuals are basically solo actors operating independently, motivated by personal gain or whatever the curiosity they have. Okay, so we call these are uh, cyber threat actors are basically cyber criminals. These can be individuals, hacktivists, cyber criminals, or state sponsors. So firstly, we will understand what are the cyber criminals are, why they do this, what is the motivation of these criminals. Firstly, they do this for financial gain with the help of ransomware. They use ransomware for it. Data theft. They they do they do this basically. The cyber criminals, they are doing for financial gain or for to data theft or for any fraud. They use basically for that ransomware. So they use common texts like phishing, they use for it, ransomware they use for it. Okay, banking trojans they use. I have given you idea about these in the last session. What are trojans? What are ransomware? You can see the last videos where you will find the details about ransomware and banking trojans and trojan horse and other viruses. So we have completed this successfully. So criminals they use these texts. What they do basically, what is the structure of the criminals? Nothing. They can be individuals or organized crime groups. Okay, these are basically the cyber criminals. Hacktivist. What are the hacktivist? What is the motivation of the hacktivist? Why they do this? They are basically, the motivation of the hacktivist is political or social activism. What the texts they use denial of service attack, they use website defacement, they use data leaks. Okay, in this we have the some type of threat actors which is we call insider threat vectors. Insider. So what the insider threat vectors, basically they are the employee or the contractors in a company who misuse their access to an organization network. Why they misuse it? Because they they want to take revenge. They want financial gain. Okay, they want to take revenge. They basically create a problem for the network, or they do this for financial gain most of the time, or to take revenge. If the boss is saying something, I will fire you and you are not good for this company, like that, in that case sometimes they do this. These type of the trade actors are basically insiders. Okay, and unintentionally they harm to the company. Sometime what they do, they delete some data and they say, okay, this data is deleted accidentally. Then it will create a problem with the company. So it gives the trouble to the other employees and company. These type of threat actors are insiders. Okay. Now the next is what the common tool we use for uh, these type of attacks, or the threat actors, they use the common tools or techniques to these type of attacks, like they use phishing email, malware, trojan, ransomware they use, zero-day exploits they use, okay, botnets they use, social engineering they use, supply chain attack they use. And what is the defense strategy for that? How we can defense from all these? So the most of the time what we use threat intelligence and monitoring. What the threat is coming to the network. Okay, multi-layer security. We use firewall, EDR, MFA, multi-layer firewall. We also gives the trainings to the employees so that they can understand what the message or mail they are receiving, where should click or where they should not click. Also, incident response plan, the company they use for the defense strategy. Now just we are moving to the next. If we talk about different type of threat actors with this uh, understanding, so here we have individual, activist, cyber criminals, state sponsor, and insiders and competitors. These are basically the common threat actors are there we are talking about. Now, firstly, if we will go with this individual threat actor, they are basically a one person cyber criminal, and he is doing this only for their personal gain. If we talk about hacktivists, these are the people who use hacking to support a cause of protest. They are like online activists who fight for things they believe in. They basically are fighting for things they believe in, but instead of the protesting on on the street, they do it through the internet. So they create a, just they collect the information from different places, and they check, they investigate, and finally they upload it on their website, or it may be they have any YouTube channel. They start giving the information to the all peoples. So they are basically used for the different purpose. So what do hacktivists do basically? What they can do? They might shut down websites. They might shut down websites to make a point. This is called denial of service attack. They do it. It's type of attack. Basically, attackers they do, hackers they use this technique, denial of service attack. They also change websites to show their own message or slogans. So what they do, they changes the message which is on website, and they write their own message on these websites. They write the slogans. You are using your website. What I will do, I will write my slogan on your website. Leak secret information. So the hacktivist basically they leak the secret information. Firstly, they collect the information from anyhow, and they pass this information to the public. If there is somewhere is corruption, what they do, they leak secret information to show corruption or wrongdoing. take over social media accounts. Okay, they take over the social media account so that they can spread a message on it. So these are basically what, these are the techniques which are used by the hacktivist. Why do they do it? Why basically hacktivists do it? They basically fight for freedom of speech, protest against the government control or corruption, support human rights or environmental issue. They do for that. So they are not criminals, but they are usually want to fight for freedom of speech, protest against the government control and corruption, support human rights and environmental issues. So according to you, are they good or bad? It's depend on how you see it. Some people think the hacktivists are heroes fighting for justice. Others think they are criminals because they are basically they break the law, or they are breaking the law. One well-known hacktivist group is Anonymous. They have attacked big companies or the government to support cause like internet freedom or to protest against injustice. Now just we are moving to the next, and we are going to talk about the next, which is the cyber criminals. Here we have the next third one topic. Who are the cyber criminals? So cyber criminals are individuals or the group who use computers network or the internet to commit illegal activities. So their goal is often to steal the data, disrupt the system, okay, extort money, or they want to cause harm for personal, political, or financial gain. There are different type of the cyber criminal activities are there. So the most common is what the cyber criminals are hacker. So they use different activities, like they use hacking, they use phishing, they use ransomware attack, identity theft, financial fraud, distributed denial of service attack. They use cyber and different cyber techniques they use to steal the secret from the government. What do you mean by the hacking? This is nothing, it's unauthorized access to the system or the data. What do you mean by phishing? This is tricking people into basically to collect the sensitive information like password, credit card numbers. Okay, what is basically the activities they use with the help of ransomware attack? They use this to locking and encrypting a victim's data and damaging payment to restore access. Encryption, in the last session I've given you idea about that. Identity theft is what they is stealing someone personal information to impersonate them. Financial fraud, they use online scams, credit card fraud, and stealing funds from the bank account. They steal the fund from bank accounts. Denial of service attack is basically overloading a server or the network to make it inaccessible. So these are basically the different type of the activities the cyber criminals they do. Basically, if we talk about who are cyber criminals, so you can say the one person, lone individual. These are basically the black hat hackers. We call these are the cyber criminals. Organized group, they can have only one person can be a cyber criminal. or a group can be a cyber criminal, or state sponsored hackers, they are basically cyber criminals. Hacktivists who claim political or ideological motivations, they are basically the cyber criminals. How they operate basically, if you want to understand how they operate, how the cyber criminals they operate, cyber criminals often exploit security weakness, social engineering, or malware. They operate from anywhere in the world, okay, and use tool like dark web to buy or sell stolen data services. So what they do, firstly they stole the data from anywhere, from any website, and they sell it with the help of dark web. Now just we are moving to the next. What the meaning of the competitors threats? They are people or the group working for your business who try to harm your company or steal your secret. They steal your secret uh, to get something advanced in the market. They want to go ahead, they get ahead in the market first, in the first position they want. Example to understand, imagine you own a small company that makes a new type of energy drink. You started, it's becoming very popular, and your competitors, a big drink company, or it's like Coca-Cola or any other company, wants to beat you. So they do things like they will hire a hacker to break into your computer system and steal your secret recipe. They want to steal your secret recipe so that they can understand what you are selling and why you are, that you are coming the leader of in the market. They also spread false rumors online about the product, that your drink is unhealthy. Try to hire your top employees, okay, who are working in the company, to learn your business secrets. They also crash your website during your big product launch so the customers can't buy your product. So this is what uh, very simple to understand what the competitors threat actors do. Now the next we are moving uh, here, what you can do for if you want to protect from competitors, if you are running your business, how you can protect yourself. What can you do? Use a strong password and security software in your company. Train your team to spot phishing emails. Do not touch any type of phishing email. If they will get any mail which is suspicious, then they should not click on it. Make employees sign agreement to protect the company secret. Okay, so there should be a agreement with every employee. They will not pass any message to any other company, and they have the responsibility to protect the company secrets. Watch out for fake reviews or online attacks. This is what that you can do. Now just we are moving to the next, non-malicious threat. These are basically what the malicious threats we are talking about. Non-malicious threats are there. Okay, non-malicious threats are what? Non-malicious threats It's a risk, or you can say it's a potential of risk or harm that arise without any intent to cause damage or harm. In other words, you can say it's a threat that happens accidentally or due to negligence rather than deliberate malicious actions. Like sometime the things which is not good for your organization and it's done accidentally. Example of the non malicious threats you can understand. First is human error, an employee accidentally deleting important files or misconfiguration a system. Second, it can be a system failure. It's not a malicious threat. Hardware breakdown, software bugs, if software bugs are there, or network outage that disrupt the operations. This is also threat. Natural disasters like floods, earthquake, or fire that damage equipment or data centers. Negligence is what? Leaving doors open, unlocked, or any just you are not updating security patches on regular basis continuously. So these can be what? Threats, and we call these type of threats are non-malicious threats. Now just we are moving to the next. So in this nothing is there. Insiders we have discussed, state response sponsored we have discussed, cyber criminals, activists, competitors. Now we talk about the next, which is threat modeling. Non-malicious we have discussed. These can be natural, operational, and human. Natural threats are arising from natural events or disasters like flood, physical damage, data center damage. Operational, this is like a backup process fail, okay, due to misconfiguration, power cut, okay, any power failure issue. Human thread is like an employee accidentally deletes some critical files or sends sensitive data to information to the wrong person, wrong recipient. This is what here we have non-malicious. So we do not consider these in a malicious threats. Okay, these are non-malicious threats, but these are threats. In this, we have covered the different type of attack, threats attacks, natural attacks, insider attacks, activist, competitors, exploit, threat, targeted attack. So these are the basically different type of attacks we learned the last. You can go through about all these topics. Now we are moving to the threat modeling. Threat modeling is what? Threat modeling means thinking ahead about what could go wrong with your computer system or app. It is you want to find out what can be wrong against my system, against my application. So I want to find out these threats which can be create problem with my application or with my computer system. So it helps you find problems before bad guys do and fix them. How do how to do threat modeling? How you can do? What do you want to protect? Firstly, you need to understand. So in your network, you have the server, email server, and the data center server you have, SQL server you have, web server you have. So firstly, for that, for this threat modeling, you need to understand what you want to protect. For example, your app stores people's photo, you want to protect this. The second is, how does your system work? Imagine people upload photos and the app save them on server. So your system is working like the people, they are uploading photos on it, and the app save these photos on a server. Where could someone try to cause trouble? Who can try? Who can create a problem with your machine? This is what you have. The challenges, anyone can penetrate to be someone else with the help of spoofing. Spoofing is a technique. Change or delete photos without permission. Tampering, see photos they shouldn't see. The information disclosure, and make the app stop working. Denial of service attack. So these are the basically the reasons by which can create a, it's someone try to cause the trouble to the network or machine. Fix the problem. How you can fix the problem? So this is what modeling we are talking about. Fix the problem after collecting all the information. Ask users to log in with a password. So they should have a strong password. Make sure only the owner can change or delete photos. Protect photos by encrypting them. So if anybody will receive it, they cannot see inside of it. And add limits so no one can crash the app by sending too many requests. This is what threat modeling. Threat modeling, it's nothing, it's a structure approved used to identify, to prioritize, and to mitigate potential threats to the system. Before launching a new online payment platform, you need to understand, or your team will conduct the threat modeling to identify the potential security risk, such as understanding access to payment data or denial of service attack, and then implements measures to mitigate these risks. Okay, in this we have different factors are also there. Identify assets, define threats, assess vulnerabilities, mitigate risk, and prioritize. This is what are comes under threat modeling. It's like you are preparing your network, what type of attack, what type of data you are using, what type of server you are using, and what are the vulnerabilities are there, and how we can protect our network from these type of attacks, and how many type of attacks are possible. In real life, you can take an example of this. Think about a locker at a school. You want to protect your staff inside. You are in a school and there is a locker, and you want to protect your staff inside. Threat modeling is like asking who might try to open my locker without permission. Could someone copy my locker key? What is someone breaks the lock? What if someone break the lock? And how can I make my locker safer? So this is what, for example, you have lock at your home, you have important documents and all these jewelries and all at your home. So what you will check it, how you can protect your locker. So firstly, you will check, you will ask, where should I place this locker? Who might uh, who might try to open your locker without permission? Could someone, they can copy of your locker key? If anyone have the lock key, they can create a copy of that, so they can easily open it. What if the someone break the lock, and how can I make my locker safer? This is what it's use threat modeling. And finally, you then decide to use the strong lock, keep the key safe, and maybe put a camera nearby your locker. That's threat modeling. I think you got it. Now just we are moving to the next. Threat modeling approaches, these are basically asset centric, architecture centric, and attacker centric. So asset centric focused on the identifying and prioritizing the assets that are most valuable to the organization, like your server is there, okay, and any physical assets are there, okay. This is what asset centric. And we understand what is and why. The next is architecture centric. How? The involve basically the systems architecture to identify the security risk, focus on how the components interact and where data flows. So how the machine is connected, how the network is connected with uh, any other network, and what the devices are basically we are using for protection, and what is the way of connection. Third one is who, attacker centric. Focus on understanding the attackers, who can be attacker, from where they can attack. So these can be different, like what will be their goals. If they will attack to my network, what will be their goal? Okay. So what the capabilities they should have, and what method they will use. Okay. Identify the potential threats from the perspective of the attacker. What will be the, who can be the attacker for my network? So this is what, here we have threat modeling approaches. Now we need to understand threat intelligence. Threat intelligence is information that helps people and companies know about possible dangers from hackers or bad software. It helps them protect their computers and data better. So there are different type of threat intelligence. It's, you can say it's a collection analysis and, you know collection analysis of the information about current potential attacks that threaten the safety and integrity of the organization's information asset. If we talk about the type of threat intelligence, so the one is what big picture. This tells about overall cyber dangers happening around the world. This is what comes under the threat intelligence. How attackers work. This explains the trick and method hackers use. Current attacks. Now, which is the currently attacks are running. This tells about attacks happening right now. And technical details. This gives the specific information like bad websites addresses or files to watch out for. These are basically the type of threat intelligence. So the sources, reliability, relevance, time, timeliness, and actionability. These are basically comes under threat intelligence. Where does threat intelligence come from? What is the use of it? From free information on internet. You need to collect it. From means you want to know what the virus is running, what type of threat is running in the market. Okay, and how the attackers they are doing attack, what is the current attack, how attackers are working nowadays. From where you can collect, you can get this information free from internet. For free information on internet you can go for from special companies that sell trade information. You can buy from them. This they are basically selling trade information, what trades are basically running in the market and what trades are possible. From the company's own security tools, you can collect the thread. With the help of that, you can get the thread intelligence. And from the group that share information between companies. So these are the resources. Where does the thread intelligence come from? Now just we are moving to the next. Thread intelligence sources. Open source intelligence, OSINT, the public available information from the internet. They can they can collect the information including the news reports, okay, any social media from where they can collect. It's useful for understanding broad threats, trends and attackers techs. What the techniques the attackers they are using. Open source from internet you can get this type of intelligence or social media sites. Commercial intelligence feed, the companies they are basically collecting this type of data, okay, and they are giving the paid services that provide the details about threats, and they basically analysis on these threats information, and they share these information to the buyers only who paid. This is basically paid service. Technical intelligence is what, uh, if you are using antivirus or just you are using IDS, IPS, okay, these are basically security devices. We use software, security softwares are there. In this we collect some information inside, okay, because these are basically traffic. These devices basically work on network traffic analysis. So focus on identifying specific malware signatures, IP address and URL associated with the threads. This is what the technical intelligence. You are collecting information with the help of the devices or the technical devices which you are using in your network environment. Human intelligence is what? Information gathered from the human sources, including insiders threats, okay, customer feedback, and information from the trusted partners. It can provide context that uh, technically technically so resources can by which we can collect the information. Operational threats vectors. Operational threat vectors are the different ways that problems or attacks can happen and cause the trouble for a business or organization. These are things that can make it hard for the company to work properly. So the common ways trouble can happen, operational threats vectors we call, these are people inside the company. They create a problem. Sometimes workers or the people who have access can make mistake or do bad things on purpose. Hackers and cyber attacks, bad people on the internet try to break into computer system or steal information. It may be number 3, the problems with suppliers or partners. If the companies that provide materials or services have issues, whatever the company is providing, that they are providing material or they are providing services, if these have issues, it can affect your business too. Physical break-ins or theft, someone getting into your building or steal equipment. Human mistake, the pupil making errors like typing wrong information or not following the rules of the company. Technology breaking down, the computer's machine or the software stop working. Natural disasters, like think like floods, fire, or a storm that damage the building or the system. Bad or missing process, when the company doesn't have good rules or ways of doing things, causing problem. The tricks to get information is people trying or people lying or tricking others to get access to secret or system. So this is what the operational thread here we have, and here we have issues, impact and cause and response. So default credentials, operational thread is default credentials. Some devices have the default credentials. Like if you will buy a router from the market, on this you will find the username and password. These are default, and if you will not change it, so it can be used for unauthorized access. Use These are used for use of the factory set to easy to guess credentials. And always, what will be the response of that? Change default password to strong unique one. Weak permission, data breaches, unauthorized action. If your permissions are weak, so data breaches are possible. Data breaches, unauthorized action can be possible. It will this will be the impact. So what is the cause of this? In improper access control, you need to set the access control for all the users. Implement least privilege access. If the user do not require to change the system, so do not give the permission to the user to change the system. Only give the permission as per the requirement of the user. Data exfiltration, lose of the sensitive information. Insider threats, malwares, the cause of this. Okay, so the monitor data flow and employ DLP strategy. You need to check for that. Open service ports. Just if you are using your new machine or your the computer devices where you have the multiple ports are there. So the most of the time you are using only one or two port, but in your machine 5 or 7 ports are open. So it is what it provide the support to unnecessary service. It can be possible, and any hacker can use this open port as a vulnerability. It will be the vulnerable for the hackers. Close or secure the unused port. If it is not working, please close these ports, stop these ports. So whenever you need, you can start it. Otherwise, stop these ports which are not in working. Now just we talk about supply chain. Supply chain threat refers to any risk, vulnerability, or attack that can disrupt the flow of goods, flow of information, flow of services from supplier to customer. These threats can affect the availability, integrity, or confidentiality of the product and service. So there are type of the different type of the supply chain threats. The first supply chain threat is cyber security attack, hacking or malware targeting supplier or logistic partners. Okay, cyber in through the cyber attack, compromise of software updates or hardware components with the help of supply chain malware. Also, just you can go with as a physical threat. Already I've given you idea about that. This is what the natural threats, natural disaster like floods, earthquakes, transportation strikes or the accidents. Okay, theft. These are basically comes under supply chain threats, and these are physical threats. Supply risk, financial instability of suppliers, poor quality control, or single source dependency risk. This is what the supplier risk. Here, if we talk about uh, supply chain threat vectors, so these are the vectors are vulnerable and potential attacks with an organization supply chain, including third-party vendors and suppliers. By exploiting weakness in the supply chain network, these threats can lead to unauthorized access, data breaches, and compromised system. They might or they highlighted the need for through the security measures and vetting process for all the supply chain component. This is here you can say lack of vendor support and of life and of support. Okay, configuration, setting, priority, system, approval. It's the impact here we have, and these are the response. So these are comes under the chain threats vector. Supply chain threat vectors also undocumented assets if you have supply chain dependency, supply chain disruption, supply chain disruption. Here we have supply chain non-conformance. These are impact, these are response here we have. Now just we are moving to the social engineering. It's a very important topic to understand. In social engineering, we need to understand why we are saying this is social engineering. Is the art of manipulating people into giving up confidential information or performing action that may compromise security. Instead of hacking a system through technical means, social engineering exploit human physiology. Social engineering is a manipulation technique that exploit human physiology to gain confidential information, access or unauthorized use of the system. It typically involves the tricking individual into breaking security process. Often by the just if the people they trust, if there is a trusted party or these type of the information you can collect from the trusted party or creating a sense of urgency. The people sometimes they say that you can believe on me, just give me your machine. I want to send a mail to my friend. Sometimes they show urgency. Okay, I am in a hurry. Just can you give me your machine so that I can send a message to my friend? So these type of technique which is used to collect the information is called social engineering. Co- Common social engineering techniques are there, like one is phishing, okay, the second is pretexting, third one is biting, the fourth one is telegating. So the what is the meaning of phishing? Phishing is a technique which we use in a social engineering technique. The hackers they use basically, they collect information with the help of social engineering. So what they do, they use phishing technique. They sending a fake mail or the message that look legitimate to trick people into revolving the password or clicking maliciously. So what they do, they send a mail to you and they will write some message in this: your bank account is locked. If you want to unlock your bank account, just click on this link. After clicking, your bank account will open within 24 hours. And this message will come from your, the same as it is coming from your bank, ABC Bank. Okay. So this is what the phishing technique. The next is what? Pretexting. Pretexting is what? Creating a fabricated scenario to obtain private information, like pretending to be a IT support person. Okay, I'll call you. Just I'm calling from. Uh, you are using, I think, HP mobile phone, HP computer, or HP device. So they will call you and they will pretending like I'm calling from HCL, or I'm calling from HP. You are using HP laptop? You will say yes. So we have an update for your laptop. Are you interested? Then I'll say yes, I want to update my laptop. He will say, okay, just you, I am going to share a mail on your mail ID. So please confirm your email ID so that I can check it. Tell me your email ID, and once you will say, you will tell your email ID, he will mail to you. And after that, he will say, just click on this mail, okay. And once you will click on this mail, your machine will be compromised. This is called pretexting, creating a fabricated scenario to obtain private information, like pretending to be a IT support person or help support team. The next is what? Biting. This is what they are in this way. The social engineering technique, biting is what? Offering something, you know, offering something like give to offer to the customers, like free download uh, channels. You can, after free downloading it, then you will get this much of recharge. Okay, after free you can download this software, which is the costing of the software is 20,000 rupees, but from here you can download it free. Okay, so you the people they use the pen drive also. Okay, so any exciting offer they will give you with the help of that, and with the help of that they can trap a victim. Okay, victims into a trap, they take it. Tailgating, this is what? Following someone into a restricted area. Following someone into a restricted area by exploiting their trust. This is the restricted area of the company. Okay, and he is with you and you are the only person who can enter in this area, restricted area, but you are taking this person who is not have a permission to enter inside, and because of your relation with him, you are you are giving entry inside of this, you know, restricted area. This is what you are doing. And it may be, it can be possible, like these type of people can exploit your trust. So this is what tailgating. This is tailgating is this. And quizzes or the surveys, quizzes or surveys also used in a social engineering threat. Some quizzes are there or surveys are there. In this, what they do, basically asking some questions which can be harmless questions to gather personal details that can be used later. Okay, if you are interested to download this app, you need to fill this form. Okay, in this form you need to write your name, your father name, your family members, your date of birth, okay, your address, okay, your location, your mailing address, your contact number, everything. And once you submit this form, you will see nothing is there to download. Why it is dangerous, social engineering? Because it targets human trust and error. It can bypass technical defenses and cause data breaches, identity theft, and financial loss and more. Like for example, if I want to know about your password, if I use any technical method or any ethical method or technology or different type of tools, it is a very lengthy process and typical. But if I, just if I will be the trusty person for you, you trust on me, then easily you can tell me your password. It's the easiest way, and this is very dangerous. So never give your personal information to anyone, and it can be dangerous because it target human trust and error. Once they will get the information, your machine will be compromised. So this is social engineering. Now, social engineering physiology, already I've given you about that. Authority, trust, responsiveness, fear, urgency, threat, reward, courtesy. With the help of these, people collect information, leveraging the tendency to the comply with the request from any authority figures they give you, trust, exploiting the natural inclination to trust the others, especially those who seems credible, responsiveness, taking advantage of the desire to be helpful. Okay, like here the fear also, they can give you a fear. If you will not do this, your machine will shut down. You will get a message on your machine. If you will not click on this link, your machine will shut down within 2 minutes. So they will not give you chance, okay, to think about that. In that case, the most of the people, they click on a link, and once they click on a link, you know what will happen. Urgency, they show you the urgency, this is very urgent, creating a sense of immediate action needed, bypassing the normal reasoning process. Threat also, they give the threat, imposing a, perceived risk to security or a personal well-being, to intermediate actions. Just if you will not do the action now, your data will erase completely from your machine. Reward also, offering incentives to promote the actions that may be compromise security. They'll give you, if you will click on this, you will get 20,000 in your account. Courtesy also, they exploiting the natural courtesy to the victim into trap, like clicking on malicious link. So I'm in trouble. Okay, I have no food. I have no money in my pocket. I want to go somewhere. So could you please help me out to click on this link? Once you will click, I will get $1,000 from Google. Yeah, it will be great, and it will be thankful to you if you will show the courtesy. Please click on this link. This type of the social engineering physiology. Remote social engineering is the last topic here we have today. The remote is what also the remote engineering techniques comes phishing. Okay, so phishing already you know no idea about that. Here some common remote social engineering techniques. Phishing, sending fake emails or message that looks real to trick people into giving password, credit card information, or clicking bad links. Wishing, V-I-S-H-I-N-G, wishing is what calling someone pretending to be from a trusted company like your bank to get personal information, password over the telephone. Simishing is what sending fake text messages that ask you to click a link or reply with the sensitive information. Pretexting, already I've given you idea about that. Making up a story or role, like pretending to be a IT support engineer, IT support person to get people to share private information. Impersonation on social media, pretending to be someone you know or a company to gain trust and get information or the money. Like I will say my friend is Rahul. Okay, and I know that Rahul is your friend, but he is not my friend. What I am doing, I'm impersonating like Rahul is also my friend. He is also your friend. I need this, just this much of support. Could you please give me the internet access for few minutes so that I can send mail to him? Okay, biting is also there. Fact website also comes under the social engineering techniques. Okay, so here the one more is this word synthetic content techniques. These are the deliberately false information is spread to device on for to collecting information, publishing of fake news articles. Okay, so to influence the people opinion or the political events, they want to collect the information. Shallow fake is what simple manipulating, and this is what simple manipulations of the authentic content, such as altering the date or editing audit or any text or audio slightly, changing the timestamp on a genuine photos. Like this is what it's also a synthetic content technique. Deepfake is what advanced AI and the machine learning technique to create highly realistic but entirely fabricated images, videos, or audios recordings. A video where a public figure appears to say something they never actually said, generated using AI. So deepfake is now you can see on say social media sometime just animated videos you can see on shorts. The Trump is saying something and Trump is dancing with uh, Modi and Trump is dancing with Putin. and they are talking to each other and telephonic conversation. This is what deepfake is. This is a synthetic content technique. Social engineering tools are there. Website they use, social profiles they use, phishing toolkit they use, phone spoofing services are used for social engineering tools. Audio recorder also uses spy cams, okay, and programmed USB. Okay, so program USBs are also used. Like for example, I have USB drive with me, and I visit to the sales department of the company, and I'm talking to the manager, sales manager. He have a laptop, and he is giving me some idea. Okay, just what I do, I say to him, okay, you have this file, please could you copy this file into my pen drive, and you take this pen drive and you connect this pen drive into the laptop, and you copy the file and you paste into the pen drive, but you do not have a idea this pen drive can contain the malicious software which is automatically installed when plugged into a computer. Clothing and here we have the approval and items designing to say, establish a false sense of the legitimacy or legitimacy and or the authority. Here we have this is what the social engineering tools. So the counter social engineering attacks are education and awareness training. It's mandatory to counter the social engineering attack. Regularly train employees on organization and responding to the social engineering tactics, what the tactics they use, implementing strict access control, limit access to the sensitive information based on rules and need to know base. Use multi-factor authentication. Nowadays, everybody should use the multi-factor authentication because uh, sometime if anybody will get the password, then still he have a password, he cannot access to your uh, machine, because when he will try to enter the correct password, one notification will received on your mobile phone through text message or any authentication message you will receive, and once you will click OK or you will enter the code OTP, then you will be able to access it. It's multi-factor authentication. Nowadays you should apply in your Gmail or any social media site. It gives you more security. Establish verification procedures, create and enforce the policies for verifying identities over the phone, email, or in person. Keep software update. All the softwares, whatever you have on your website, if you are running any website, if you have any application software or you are running Windows, regularly update the software, security software also, and system to protect against known vulnerabilities. So this is what the counter social engineering attacks. Also secure the physical space where you have the devices. Measure the bad access system and the surveillance cameras to prevent unauthorized physical access. Develop incident response plan. Prepare for the potential breaches with a clear response strategy that include the reporting mechanism. Promote a security focused culture. Also regularly review and audit the security policies what you have applied, continuously access and implement the security practices to adapt to our new threats. Use anti-phishing tools, deploy email filters, web security tools to detect and block phishing attempts. So this is we have done completely, and planning, execution and reporting. In the next, we will discuss more about threats and vectors. Till the next session, bye everyone. See you in next class.